What's up, guys? You're listening to another episode of Selling on Amazon with Willie Isom. We were able to go to Hawaii for an entire week with me and my family, completely for free. Not completely, but I'm going to share in this episode how most of our trip was free thanks to our Amazon business. This is one of the biggest benefits of running your own business is credit card mile hacking to awesome vacations every year. And we've been wanting to take the kids to Hawaii for a while now. I know not very many of you guys know this, but I'm actually part Hawaiian. I say a pizza slice Hawaiian. My mom is Hawaiian. She grew up on the islands. My tutu still lives there. I have an aunt, an uncle that still live there. And my tutu has never met, tutu is grandma, by the way, for Hawaiians. My tutu has never met my two kids, Ryan and Logan. So we've been wanting to take them for a few years so that she could get a chance to meet them, meet some other family members. And of course, who doesn't want to go to Hawaii? Well, Hawaii is expensive. You guys know this. It's expensive to get over there. It's a long flight. And I understand that it can be kind of a burden financially for a lot of people to try to get their families over there. But let me share with you guys, I just want to share in this episode how we use credit card points to cover the cost of most of our trip. A trip that probably for most people would cost anywhere from $8,000 to maybe even $15,000 was just a small percentage of that. So again, I'm going to share with you guys like the credit card we use, how we use points, and how you can rack up a ton of points by simply owning your own business. And obviously in this situation, we're talking about our Amazon business. All the points that we used from this trip were completely from our Amazon business. The credit card that we use for our Amazon business is the Capital One Spark card. We get 2 times the points, 2x points on every purchase. There's a lot of credit cards out there that will do stuff like, you get 2x or 3x the points on dining, rental cars, and gas, or, like random little groceries, like random little categories like that. But the cool thing about the Capital One Spark card is you get 2 times the points on anything. So the cool thing about that is we can get 2 times the points on our biggest purchases. Because again, a lot of other cards, like I'll give an example. I also use the Delta Amex Sky Miles card. And that card, I love that card, by the way, because we fly Delta a lot out of Salt Lake City. So if you fly Delta, that's an amazing card too. But that card gives you like 3x points on advertising spend. And I think restaurants, honestly, I can't remember all the ones off the top of my head, but most of the other stuff is just 1 point per dollar spent. So again, the nice thing about this Capital One Spark card is we get 2 times the points on anything with no limits either. Because another thing about those 3x or 4x advertising cards, which are great when you're running ads online, a lot of those will have limits. So you'll get like 3x points up to $150,000 in spend for the year. A lot of them will have some limits like that. So just keep that in mind. There's no limits with this Capital One. So we get 2x points on all of our advertising spend on Amazon, which for reference, we spend anywhere from $30,000 to $40,000 a month on Amazon advertising. So double that, we get 60 to 80,000 points every month just from ad spend on Amazon. But we also, and I know a lot of people are going to come at me for this because I get questions about this all the time. We also pay for a lot of inventory with a credit card. Now, again, I know people are gonna be like, Andy, you're insane. You're gonna get hit with the fee. Yes, I understand. You get hit with a 3% fee on a lot of those purchases. But the way that we kind of look at it is we can pay the 3% fee, but then we're getting back 2% essentially, right? We're getting back 2% kind of worth of points on those purchases if you were to kind of convert the points that you get back into like a dollar amount per se. So when we spend, let's say on average, $20,000 to $30,000 a month on inventory, then again, we double that, you get 40 to 60,000 points. So we end up on a monthly basis, we earn, it could be anywhere depending on the inventory purchases. That's like the main factors is, do we order a lot of inventory that month? We could earn anywhere from 70,000 points a month on the low end up to on our highest months when we do like our big orders, we earned 1 month 246,000 points. So just to put that into perspective, like let me just go back in time here a little bit. If I were to go back to 2022, I'm actually have an Excel sheet here that tracks how many points we've earned every single month since we started doing this. In June of 2022, we earned 266,000 points. July, 219,000 points. August, 246,000 points. In 3 months of the summer of 2022, we earned I can actually total that up because I'm in Google Sheets. 733,000 points. Okay, 700,000 points in 3 months just by running our business. So let me share a little bit about our Hawaii trip and kind of how much that cost us in points. Now, I will say we are not like the biggest credit card hackers when it comes to like transferring points and, like trying to do all the like best bang for your buck sort of thing. I'm sure there's people who are way more efficient with using their points, but here's the bottom line. We don't really care. Like, we just want to go on the trip when we want to go on the trip. So for this trip, we wanted to go during my wife's birthday. She was turning 30. So it was like a big 30th birthday celebration for her. So we wanted to make it a good one. So we went to Oahu and we wanted to stay somewhere really nice. So we were looking at what are really nice places to stay on Oahu. Because traditionally when my wife and I travel, a lot of times we'll just get like an Airbnb, like a beach house or something, which is fun and nice. But again, we wanted to kind of make things a little bit more fancy for this trip. So we looked up kid family friendly resorts and we found Turtle Bay and Aulani, the Disney owned resort on Oahu. We asked a bunch of people, we did a bunch of research, and we ended up saying, you know what, we love Disney, my kids love Disney, so let's give Aulani a try. Now, Aulani is expensive, guys. Aulani is expensive. It is incredible. I'll share some photos and videos showing kind of what it's like, and I'll probably do some posts on my Instagram account, but that resort is very impressive. I've been to Turtle Bay. I haven't been to every resort on Oahu. I've been to Oahu many times. And I haven't stayed at all of them, but I've seen a lot of them. And to be honest, I don't know that there's a nicer resort on the island than Aulani. Now, you could spend, guys, if you're paying cash out of pocket to stay there, you could spend about $800 a night. And it could be even more than that depending on the time of year. So if you wanted to stay there for 5 days or so, you're looking at $4,000. And that's just to stay there, right? There's obviously like the food on the property is pretty expensive. The restaurants are nice, but they're expensive. But yeah, $4,000 to stay there for 5 days, 5 nights, I should say. Luckily, we booked pretty early. And when we booked, it cost us 300,000 miles for 5 days. Yeah, Tuesday night, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. 4 nights. We stayed 4 nights, but essentially 5 full days. So that was $3,000 or 300,000 miles. So we used 300,000 miles to stay at Aulani for 5 days. We also stayed at another hotel on the North Shore, the Marriott, right next to the Polynesian Cultural Center. We ended up going to the Polynesian Cultural Center this year, and that was really fun. The 2 nights that we stayed at the Marriott were only 77,000 miles, which would have been around $800. So it was a lot cheaper to stay at that hotel for 2 nights. You're looking at $300 a night versus almost $800 for Aulani. So that was 77,000 miles. And then our flights, here's the cool, and I know this is turning into like a travel episode, which is kind of funny, but traveling with the kids, it's a 6-hour flight and we did not want layovers. I mean, I have a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old. So I'm like, we ain't not doing the layover thing for 2 hours in Los Angeles. We're going straight from Salt Lake City to Honolulu. So it's about a 6-hour direct flight Delta. But again, the benefit of having so many miles was we felt really comfortable getting better seats. So we actually sat in the very front row of Comfort Plus on the Delta flight. So we didn't have any seats in front of us. We had way extra leg room. I could stick my legs straight out and, barely touch that little wall thing at the front row right there. So my kids, they could play on the ground. They could sit on the floor, play with toys. They could lay down. They could walk around, stretch out. So we had a ton of room. And again, that was something that would be pretty expensive, especially for those specific seats, one-way flight. The other thing, guys, is we were able to pick like the best flight. So we left at a really great time. Obviously, we had to come home on the red eye, but it was great because we had so much space. The kids slept all night. We had the little blow up beds for them. So, I mean, the flights were great. If we would have paid cash for those flights, and then we only paid for 3 seats, me, Taylor, and Ryan, and then Logan was a lap child. So we only paid for 3 seats. Guys, it was $3,900 for our flights or 390,000 miles, right? Using credit card points. So right now we're up to close to 700,000 miles that we've used on this trip. And again, this is like a 7-day trip. We stayed a couple nights on the North Shore, stayed 5 days at Aulani. And then the last thing that we used our points for, guys, was the rental car. So we got a nice rental car. When I say nice, I mean we got a minivan, but it was nice to have. That was $400, but guess what? I didn't have to pay for that. I used 42,000 miles. So in total, guys, we went to Hawaii for a week. That would have cost us 4,000 plus 3,000 plus 400 plus 700. What is that? We're looking at roughly $9,000 or so just for hotel flights and rental car. $9,000 completely free. So our total trip, when I totaled it up, it was actually have it right here. Our total trip with the points cost us 814,000 miles. 814,000 miles. Okay. The only thing we had to pay for was like fun stuff at the swap meet, food, obviously, and yeah, any other like little knickknacks here and there. Filled up the van with gas one time. So like it was basically just food and stuff we wanted to buy, which we probably spent. I mean, we ate really nice. We ate at all the nicest restaurants at the resort because again, we didn't feel that pressure of like, oh my gosh, we spent so much money. This whole trip has been free up to this point. So it's like we can eat whatever we want and spend maybe $2,000 for the week on food and eat really good food, wherever we wanted. So a whole Hawaii trip cost me like probably less than $2,000 for a week, which is crazy. And remember, we spent 814,000 miles for this full trip. Remember when I was telling you guys how many points we earned from our Amazon business just in June, July, and August of last year? 733,000 points. So essentially, this is how insane it can be, guys, to own your own business. And again, an Amazon business where you're buying a lot of stuff, paying for a lot of ads. In 3 months of simply running our Amazon business, we essentially, we're off by 100,000 points or so. We essentially earned, actually, let me just throw in May. I'll throw in May because in May of that year, we earned 147,000. So if I were to add May, June, July, August, 4 months of running our business, we earned 881,000 points, which would be enough to cover a week-long awesome trip in Hawaii at Aulani, the best resort on the island, in 4 months. So in theory, as crazy as it sounds, guys, we don't do this, but we could, I'm gonna actually share a little disclaimer here in just a second, but like in theory, if we owned our business just by ourselves, we didn't have business partners, which again, I'll talk about. If we didn't have business partners and we owned our business outright, we could go to Hawaii for a week every 4 months, essentially for free, right? Just pay for food. But we could not splurge on food and probably spend like less than $1,000 for the week on food. Imagine being able to go to Hawaii every 4 months, 3 times a year, guys. You get to go to Hawaii for free simply because you own your own business. Absolutely insane. Guys, we did that. We did that trip, right? We spent 800,000 credit card points. Guess how many points I still have in my account? 1.3 million. 1.3 million points still in my account that I could use. And guys, here's the crazy thing. That's just for our Amazon business. You want to hear the other crazy thing? That's our share of the points. We have business partners for our Amazon brand. So we split our points 50-50. So even splitting our points 50-50 with our business partners, so they get half the credit card points to travel wherever they want, we get half, I still have 1.3 million points. And then with my personal credit card, right, for personal family stuff and my other businesses, I use the Delta Amex Gold. I've got another like 400,000 Delta points sitting in my Delta account. So we can pretty much, obviously if we don't go to Hawaii like every 3 months, but every year we can pretty much take a week-long trip to pretty much wherever we want. Granted, not maybe Bali, but like we can go to a sweet vacation every single year completely for free. And again, if you think about it like from your perspective listening, right? If you don't have a business partner and you're just like doing this yourself and you scale your business up to this level where like you're spending this much on a credit card, you could go to Hawaii every 6 months for free. We have 1.5 million mile points in our account. Like just in the past 3 years, since 2021, since July of 2021, in 2.5 years, essentially, this is like how many trips we've gone on for free. This is me and our business partners. So me and Taylor and then our business partners, we each have gone on trips over the past 2 years. We have gone for free to Cabo, Seattle a couple of times, Hawaii, Mexico, Cancun again, Italy. Business partners went to Italy. I went to Vegas, San Diego, cruises. We went to LA to the Taylor Swift concert, San Diego, Hawaii. We've been to Cabo, Cancun a few times, Italy, Hawaii a few times. Like just in the last 2 years, guys, completely for free. Absolutely. It is absolutely insane. This is by far the most fun benefit of running your own business. Guys, most people who just work a 9 to 5, right? You just work your corporate job. A lot of people will have credit card points just from like, paying for groceries or paying for gas in your car. But to rack up credit card miles, it's tough because like you really don't spend that much money every month. Like if I were to think about just like personal expenses, I can't pay my mortgage with my credit card. That would be nice to rack up some points. But I really can only spend my life expenses every month on my personal credit card. So it's like groceries, gas, maybe even some of my bills, I just do a direct deposit through my bank account. Like I'm really only able to earn just from like standard living expenses, credit card points, gosh, maybe like 5,000, 10,000 points, 15,000 points in a month would be like a lot for most people just using a personal credit card. So yeah, when you think about it that way, you're like, gosh, dang, to get 300,000 points to take the family to Hawaii, and that's for 3 people, right? So if you have more kids, it's going to be more than that. Saving up 300,000 points will take you 3 or 4 years of saving points just to pay for the flights, versus if you're spending $20,000, $30,000 a month on ads on your business, you're racking up 3 years worth of points in 2 months. So again, guys, this is just like the major benefit that I don't think people talk about enough to running their own business, is being able to benefit from those points. And here's another thing, guys. I am a huge proponent. You will hear me say, I've said this before. I am a huge proponent of using travel points with credit cards, not cash back. From my research, and again, I'm not like a credit card guru, but from my research, the best value from credit cards, as far as points are concerned, are the ones with travel rewards. Like they convert better. So it's a better like reward system to use travel points than just get like cash back into your account, into your business. And here's the other thing, guys. Like I've heard people talk to me and they're like, Andy, why don't you just use cash back and then you can get, money back from your credit card spend and reinvest it back into your business? I'm like, I don't care about that. I don't need that. I don't need $10,000 in cash back to reinvest into my business. I have the money sitting in my business bank account. I have a business line of credit. I don't need that money. But if I were to not, like, let me say we don't do the points thing with our credit card and we do the cash back and get it and put it back into our business, then I'm like every other average Joe in America and I'm sitting with 80,000 Delta Sky Miles points in my account and I never travel because I'm like, frick, I don't want to spend $9,000 to go to Hawaii. So that's again why I'm a huge proponent of actually getting credit card points in the form of travel and using that for fun. Guys, that is, and I'm going to say this, that is essentially tax-free money. Because essentially, I guess if you got cash back, I think that's also considered tax-free. But when you look at it in the form of travel, that's like a $10,000 trip to Hawaii, guys, that I don't have to pay taxes on. Like I don't have to pay taxes on that income. That's just like free money that you get to use to spend on travel. And it's just like chilling there in like that travel bank account. That's like, this is my travel bank account, but instead of dollars, it's in the form of points. And every year you just get to go wherever you want. So literally my wife and I, this is like, we just look at our account like, okay, I have 1.3 million miles right now. And I'm going to get roughly 80 to 100,000 points every single month just for our Amazon business, because we get around 200 and then we split it right with our business partner. So I get like 80 to 100,000 every month. So over the course of a full year, I'll get a million, close to 1 million points per year from our business. So that way, every year we could either go to Hawaii for a week if we wanted, or we can take smaller trips. Like something that we've done a lot is we'll go to Cancun for like 180,000 points. We just cover the flights and then we'll pay cash for the all-inclusive. Like we like to go to Excellence in Cancun. We've been there a few times in the past couple of years. And it's like, what, $2,500 for 6 days for my wife and I, all-inclusive, right? All you can eat. And it's like, okay, spending $2,500 once a year for a vacation, that's pretty solid, right? Especially if you're going to Cancun and everything's included. So like, that's really almost like your out the door price for the vacation. And that's only 180,000 miles. So I can do that and still we can take a Cancun vacation in the spring, which is when we like to go. And then in the winter time, we can take a big vacation with the fam. Guys, this is why I love being a business owner. I love being a business owner because you get to do all these fun trips and all these fun vacations for free. So for those of you that are listening and you're just getting started, right? You're still in the small, early startup process. Use this as motivation. Use earning these credit card points, scaling your business as a motivation to work on your business. And then here's the other thing I'll say, guys, set a goal, right? For your business, working on your business, reaching new milestones, right? New revenue, set goals for your business, and then give yourself a reward to look forward to. We did this with our brand. In fact, the very first trip, I think it was one of the very first trips we ever took, was we went to Disney World. Went to Disney World and Universal Orlando. It was an 8-day trip, no kids. It was one of the funnest trips I've ever been on. And we set it as like a celebration. We went right at the new year. So we had this was actually way back, like after our first full year of selling on Amazon. And so we were reaching new milestones, right? Breaking records and reinvesting back into the business. And so we were like, we need to treat ourselves. Right? We've been working hard. We've been scaling. We've been growing. And so we use that as like something to look forward to. Like, okay, when we do this, when we reach this milestone, when we cross this threshold, we're going to go to Disney World as a team, right? As a business. And we did. And it was amazing. So do that. Like be motivated to grow your business knowing like, hey, as I keep growing, as I keep scaling, as I keep investing in advertising, investing in my business, I'm going to be earning more points, right? Through my credit cards that we can take that fun trip with the family. So tell your partner, your spouse, whoever, right? If you have family that you're doing this with, use that as motivation. Be like, hey, look, like if we keep scaling this thing and it keeps going good and we invest, we can take the fam to Disneyland or Disney World or I don't know, wherever you guys live and you like to vacation, but for free, right? For free, essentially. So again, an amazing benefit, guys. If you have questions about, the travel side of things, the travel hacking, the credit card things, hit me up. You can DM me on Instagram. I'm happy to share maybe, or even like Hawaii, guys. Like we love going to Hawaii. I've been there many, many times. So if you have Hawaii questions, hit me up too. I love talking Hawaii. But yeah, I've got some other episodes actually that talk specifically about like specific credit cards. But yeah, what I'll say, guys, is use your credit card and use it responsibly. Like you don't want to acquire interest. Otherwise it kind of defeats the whole purpose, right? Because then you're just spending a lot more money than you should spend on whatever you're buying. So pay off your statement balance every month. Don't carry interest on your credit card. But I would say as many things as you can put on your credit card for your business, do it, because that's just more points you're going to rack up. And the biggest one, guys, by far the biggest one, is make sure in your Amazon Seller Central account, you have your ad spend linked to a credit card. Amazon by default will just deduct your ad spend from your balance or your payout or whatever like debit card you have on file for your business. So if you don't go in and change it and say add payment method for advertising and put your credit card to be billed for ad spend, then you are not earning the points. So make sure from day one, you go and add your credit card for your advertising spend. And you don't have to use the Capital One Spark card. And if you're the type that like, hey, I'm going to pay inventory via like wire transfer and I'm only really going to use a credit card for ad spend, there's better credit cards that give you better rewards for specifically ad spend. So consider that as well. It just kind of depends on your strategy on how you're going to pay for certain things and what your expenses are. But yeah, I've got other episodes. I've got more content to help you guys out with that. But again, I just wanted to kind of motivate you guys today on growing your businesses or even starting a business because of like these side benefits that you get from being a business owner, not to mention like, tax breaks and things like that, write-offs and things that you can do as being a business owner. So, all right, guys, once again, I'm Andy. You're listening to Selling on Amazon with Andy Isom. We'll see you in the next episode.